You'll hear the popular phrase glitch in the matrix more than a few times when we discuss these surprising and often unsettling moments caught on film. It's unavoidable. These videos run the entire gamut of "did you see what I saw?" and "what the heck am I looking at?" and back again. But having said that, these clips are a whole lot of fun.
This plane, is it moving?
From the bending of the water using only sound to a freaky fish with 4 eyes and 2 mouths. And no, we're not kidding. 20 glitches in the Matrix caught on camera. A tree waterfall located in the village of Dinosa in the Balkan country of Montenegro. Between Greece and Italy, the locals here have no mystical folktales or superstitions surrounding this amazing phenomena. The water tree. It's all simply a rare occurrence of nature. The old mulberry tree, surrounded by a meadow with countless underground springs, has been standing strong for up to 150 years. Due to its age, the sturdy bark of the tree has been hollowed out from the core, which in turn creates this magical phenomenon. Every time after a heavy rainfall, the surrounding underground springs become flooded, so the overflowing water is pumped upwards and gushes out through the center of the tree bark. This exquisite sight makes the water tree look like a fountain. Back in the day, the locals attribute it to a legend about witches beating each other with branches and causing a witchy commotion that damaged these trees. As we all know, water doesn't normally gush out of living trees, but at least, in this case, the phenomenon has a perfectly reasonable explanation. You see, the meadow that the mulberry tree grows in has many underground springs which flood during heavy rainfall, and the additional pressure pumps the water up through the hollow trunk. A tree waterfall. Now let's get ready for today's missing topic. Is this dog seeing something we don't normally see? Based on that apparition-like cloud floating close to the observant dog, it's obviously worth pointing out. This pup appears to be seeing a ghost. Despite the fact that there's no scientific proof that dogs can see ghosts, so much of the animal behavior is uncertain that the possibility of a dog sensing something a human can't is not out of the question. That said, why is this dog suddenly lifted into the air? Ghosts aren't supposed to be able to move stuff, and when they do, it's known as a poltergeist. In ghost lore, a poltergeist, German for rumbling ghost or noisy spirit, is a type of ghost or spirit that's responsible for physical disturbances, such as loud noises and objects being moved or destroyed. Most claims or fictional descriptions of poltergeists show them as being capable of pinching, biting, hitting, and tripping people. They're also depicted as capable of the movement or levitation of objects such as furniture and apparently dogs. Whatever it is, it certainly has this pooch on high alert. How about you? Leave your thoughts on this down below in the comment section using hashtag missing topic. Hey, did you know that if you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you're more likely to win the lottery? So what are you waiting for? Perfect sync. The Phoenix Suns basketball team is known to be notoriously, let's just say, not very successful at winning. But they did something incredibly good recently in their season opener while playing the Portland Trail Blazers. Early in the first quarter, Suns guard Eric Bledsoe picked off an errant pass and led a fast break the other way. And in a moment of extremely unpredictable harmony, the 4 other Suns players started running with him at the exact same time. Look at how all 5 Suns players on the floor pivot and start running down the court. It's nearly perfectly synchronized. If basketball is poetry in motion, the Suns are basically iconic poet Robert Frost, or at least they were for about 3 seconds of a 48-minute game. Have you ever seen anything like it? Probably not. But as the Robert Frost himself once said, nothing gold can stay. The Suns got absolutely eclipsed in this home opener, letting the Trail Blazers burn them by 48 points, 124-76. That's the biggest margin of defeat in the team's history, not to mention the worst opening night loss in the NBA ever. But there was the single ray of light, the perfect sync. So while nobody has ever witnessed a team open their season by getting hammered as hard as the Suns did, nobody has witnessed such harmony on a basketball court either. Frozen in time. This baffling incident took place in a quiet neighborhood in Colombia recently and was filmed by locals. A bird has been filmed apparently frozen mid-flight in mysterious footage, sparking a wave of wild theories online. Footage shows the white bird appearing to remain motionless with its wings spread apart in the sky above a two-floored house. Stunned pedestrians and curious bikers stop and look up to find the unusual sighting. The camera pans to show the bird and it appears to be twitching in subtle motions. And viewers were quick to flock in with their suggestions for what caused the sight. "It's a flaw in Matrix," one joked. "Drones, it's a drone bird, that's it," another guessed. They could be onto something. There's a popular conspiracy theory known as birds aren't real. Ever heard of it? So you might not be surprised to learn that more than 1 million people have become followers of this conspiracy theory that birds aren't real. That's right, the birds you think you see flying in the sky are actually government surveillance drones. Sound insane? It's meant to. The birds aren't real movement is, thankfully, pure satire intended to mirror some of the absurdity that's taken flight in media around the globe. Car stuck in midair. Have you ever seen the strangest car crash ever? Was it a massive gust of wind? A magnetic anomaly? Is the driver trying a stunt? Nope. A Connecticut family in the UK is grateful to be safe after downed electrical wires snagged their car and hoisted it in the air during a storm recently. Authorities were called just after 3 p.m. to this location, where they found a car suspended from a telephone wire. How the car wound up in that position was not immediately clear, but it might have been related to a hailstorm. The driver said she was heading home with her 2 children in the car when an electrical pole snapped in half as she drove down the road. She saw a telephone pole snap and fall down as they were approaching it. The car got stuck in the wires that were attached to it, and they got airlifted. Yikes! Their car dangled over the road until rescuers could come to free them. The driver had this to say, "I prayed the entire time we were in the car. I prayed, please don't let lightning hit us. Please don't let the car shift." The mother waited for help inside the car with her 5-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter. The mother called 911 and the operator remained on the line until help arrived. More than 40 minutes later, the family was free and unharmed. They're thankful for all crews who helped them during their time of need. Surprisingly, the car may be salvageable. Bouncing manhole. Sewer covers are heavy metal or concrete plates that cover the manholes. These are holes typically big enough to let men through them to carry out maintenance work in sewers and drains. The sewer covers are placed on top of their holes and prevent people on the street from falling into them. They, however, should not behave like this. There's a manhole cover in Denver that may require an exorcism. It's either a ghost or an air bubble. Denver water is going with air bubble. Drivers beware. A photojournalist spotted the manhole cover recently as it was bouncing out of its holder and into the air. This is problematic for drivers, needless to say, but it could be a danger for pedestrians if the manhole comes completely off. Pedestrians could actually fall into the manhole, but authorities were quick to rectify the situation. According to Denver Water, an air bubble is likely to blame. Manhole covers can sometimes make noise or move around, and underground pipes are filled with water. For example, during improvement projects, water is pushed down and air moves. There are systems in place to try and avoid this, like vents near the manholes that allow for air pressure to be released and not go through the manhole. This video is a rare case where too much air is trying to find its way out. Water-bending sound. This mind-bending and water-bending viral video is another experiment you can do yourself. Run a rubber hose down past a speaker so that the hose touches the speaker. Leave about 1 or 2 inches of the hose hanging past the bottom of the speaker. Secure the hose to the speaker with tape or whatever works best for you. The goal is to make sure the hose is touching the actual speaker so that when the speaker produces sound, it will vibrate the hose. Set up your camera and switch it to 24 frames per second. The higher the shutter speed, the better the results. Run an audio cable from your computer to the speaker. Set your tone-generating software to 24 Hz and hit play. Turn on the water. Now look through the camera and watch the magic begin. The speaker causes the hose to vibrate, shaking it 24 times a second. To the naked eye, this looks like something of a blur, but if your camera is also taking a shot every 24 seconds, the video looks like the water is frozen in space, with just slight changes to the position of the drops. Things really get interesting when you make the frequency just slightly lower than the required speed. Now the water appears to move upwards, and with a hose, some water, plus some different frequencies, you can DIY this water bending too. Helicopter got powers. What you're looking at here is when frames per second equals revolutions per minute. We'll explain. In this demonstration of a helicopter launching vertically from the sports arena, it appears to be floating without its rotors moving. But believe us, they are. It's the meeting of frames per second on a camera and revolutions per minute on a helicopter. Frames per second is used to measure frame rate, the number of images consecutively displayed each second, and is a common metric used in video capture and playback when discussing video quality. The human brain can only process about 10 to 12 frames per second. Frame rates faster than this are perceived to be in motion. The greater the FPS, the smoother the video motion appears. RPM, or revolutions per minute, is a value necessary for a helicopter to produce enough lift to support itself. Most helicopters operate at about 450 to 500 RPM for the main rotor and approximately 3000 RPM for the tail rotor. So what you're seeing here is the camera only capturing a limited amount of rotor rotations, which to our eyes makes it look like the helicopter is lifting off without even using the rotors. So, it's not the proverbial glitch in the matrix, it's an amazing display of the power of a camera lens versus the mechanics of a helicopter. Rolling shutter effect. Trippy, right? These plane propellers aren't glitching off the matrix, it's another example of the shutter speed of a camera making it look like the propeller is behaving very weirdly. Rolling shutter is a method of image capture in which a still picture or each frame of a video is captured not by taking a snapshot of the entire scene at a single instant in time, but rather by scanning across the scene rapidly, vertically, horizontally, or rotationally. In other words, not all parts of the image of the scene are recorded at exactly the same instant. Though during playback, the entire image of the scene is displayed at once, as if it represents a single instant in time. This produces predictable distortions of fast-moving objects, like a propeller. The advantage of this electronic rolling shutter is that the image sensor can continue to gather photons during the acquisition process, thus effectively increasing sensitivity. It's found on many digital still and video cameras these days. Most people don't even realize what it is or why it happens. But if you've ever shot distorted or wavy footage on your phone or video camera, then it's safe to say you have come across this phenomenon. To some video shooters, it can be a pain, but for some, it's a way to add some pretty cool special effects to their footage. Where did he come from? A dashcam video from Russia seems to show proof of teleportation, it's been claimed. Take a look for yourself. The clip shows a huge truck traveling at speed along a rural highway. Then suddenly, the vehicle can then be seen dramatically swerving out of the path of a pedestrian standing in the middle of the road. Where did he come from? The man, wearing a long white coat with a black hat, then continues walking out of view of the camera, and that's why the video uploader wrote, "This video has been hailed as proof of teleportation." What do you think? The man is seemingly unbothered by his near-death experience. Regardless, some say this video is teleportation proof. Teleportation is very real, but it's not the kind that appears in science fiction. Real-life teleportation uses the principle of quantum physics, a set of rules that describe the strange behavior of photons, electrons, and other minuscule particles that make up the universe. The human body contains billions of atoms, and some scientists believe that nothing in the laws of physics says human teleportation is impossible. But unconvinced viewers of this video have suggested that rather than teleportation, the video was digitally altered. But one thing's for sure, this man is lucky to be alive. Fish with 2 mouths and 4 eyes. Most fishermen are not expecting to catch this. The fish appears to have 2 mouths and 4 eyes. Scientists were also stunned to see this carp fish. Even scientists have not been able to lift the curtain as to why the fish has 2 mouths and 4 eyes. However, some scientists and social media users think that the second mouth could actually be a gaping flesh wound that healed improperly. Some are calling it a miracle of nature, while others are calling it a victim of radiation of the Fukushima nuclear plant tragedy, a nuclear accident in Japan. On March 11, 2011, the earthquake and tsunami caused 3 nuclear meltdowns and multiple hydrogen explosions at the Fukushima power plant. The incident forced 150,000 people to evacuate across a 440 square mile area. Not only that, it also caused lingering long-term effects in the animals and sea creatures nearby. Most radiation-induced mutations lead to lower growth, survival, and fertility. And normally, these aquatic mutants do not live long enough to get as large as this fish. Most are slower, less capable, and thus more likely to be eaten or die than normal individuals. If this is the case, this fish survived, but scientists agree that controlled experiments would be needed to determine what's wrong with this fish. Square cloud. This video shows a massive weather phenomenon spanning across much of the sky. As the camera pans around, the cloud seems to have perfect 90-degree corners to give it the appearance of a square. What's going on here? Clouds come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and movements. However, rarely do they ever come in at such a perfect shape. Although clouds are arranged due to the winds and moisture in the middle atmosphere, we're rarely shown a perfect structure. The video has sparked wild speculation after being posted online that it's evidence of the infamous High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. The controversial program studies an energetic and active region of the upper atmosphere, but conspiracy theorists believe it's actually designed to control the weather. It left many utterly shocked as one person wrote, "I'm telling you, something ain't right with the sky these days." Thankfully, this has happened before, and it's not cause for alarm. In 2014, a NASA astronaut posted a photo of a square cloud he captured from the International Space Station. It's actually a common stratus cloud, just an unusually well-defined one. Stratus clouds form in calm, stable conditions, and often when warmer air blows over a colder surface. The pole goes through his leg. This video shared on social networks has shocked internet users. When you see this viral video, you'll be left constantly wanting to rewatch the footage, because although the first time you observe it, everything seems normal, if you pay close attention, you'll notice that something is extremely off. In the video, it appears that a metal tube from a turnstile goes through the leg of a man as if it were transparent. In the viral video, you can see a man trying to pass through the turnstile. This device basically consists of controlling people's access to an area. In order to pass through, people must first swipe their card or pay with coins, which releases the device to freely rotate and the person can enter. When the man tries to go through on his turn, he seems to stumble, and the device keeps turning and he can no longer pass. The man, believing it was his mistake, looks around and laughs at what just transpired. However, when you look closely at the video, everything seems to indicate that, in reality, the man did not make any mistakes because it looks like the metal tube does not collide with his body. On the contrary, it seems that it goes through his leg. Some say that when turning the turnstile, the man swiveled to one side, which allowed the metal tube to pass through, but this explanation does not convince many, who commented that it looks like a glitch in the Matrix. Plane in the midair. This TikToker's glitch in the Matrix video shows a plane flying overhead appearing to freeze midair and remain floating in the sky. Many people were shocked by this strange video, but some explained that this isn't something extraordinary. Airplanes normally can remain in midair for some time while awaiting air traffic control clearance. That being said, it's no surprise that the sight was quite disturbing to viewers. In the clip, people can be seen standing in the street, pointing their phones up to the sky. When the person filming pans upwards, they reveal a small plane towing a banner simply stuck in the sky. Did someone press pause on this plane's journey toward its final destination? Once this video went viral, many people had some things to say. Some people pointed out that the thrust generated by this plane must be exactly the same as the wind fighting against it. Because of this, the plane remains airborne. As far as the wind and plane are concerned, all the conditions are met for flight. Think of this plane like a kite. When you have a large kite in the sky and it's not moving around much, it's still up there because the wind is holding it up. And you, on the ground holding the string, are generating resistance to the wind. As a result, the kite flies the wind and remains airborne. That's what's happening to this plane. Stuck in a simulation. This cat might make you ask, what is reality? Many have pondered that question for centuries, formulating theories that run the gamut from scientific to mystical. So, why is this cat moonwalking like Michael Jackson? Call it Michael Catson. Whatever you call it, there's no denying that cat looks as if it's gotten stuck in a simulation. Ever heard of it? Simulation theory is based on the concept that reality is merely an ultra-high-tech computer simulation where we sim-live, sim-work, sim-laugh, and sim-love. Simulation theory says that we're all living in an extremely powerful computer program. Maybe this cat knows something we don't know. It sounds far-fetched, but scientists think that sim life is more probable than one might think. Future generations might have mega computers that can run numerous and detailed simulations of their forebears. In other words, ancestor simulations, in which simulated beings are imbued with a sort of artificial consciousness. So for many, we're products of that simulation. But let's not overthink it. Chances are this cat is just making moves on a very slow-moving rubber conveyor belt before it comes to a stop. We'll assume a mega computer from the future has bigger things to process than a moonwalking kitty. 3 suns in China. Residents of a Chinese city were amazed to see what appeared to be 3 suns hanging in the sky at the same time. The optical illusion lasted 3 hours one morning in the country's northernmost city near the Russian border. The spectacle is caused by a natural phenomenon known as sundogs and rarely happens in China, according to experts. It was one of the longest-lasting sundog occurrences in the area. Sundogs happen when sunlight passes through high-altitude ice crystals and cirrus clouds. The phenomenon is also called parhelion. This strange phenomenon is first known to have been recorded by Aristotle between 384 and 322 BC. There are many hexagon-shaped ice crystals in the semi-transparent, delicate clouds in the sky. Occasionally, they'll line up finely and horizontally in the sky, and when sunlight shines on these ice crystals, such irregular reflection will occur. Sundogs can occur anywhere in the world, and they're always intriguing to see. Occasionally, they can form multicolored patches, like sections of rainbows, or they can appear in this case like multiple suns. An unusually bright moon can create the same effect, but such an instance is very rare. Witness the unbelievable. Filmed on an offshore vessel while working somewhere in the North Sea, someone on this boat captured that perfect moment when day and night meet. If sunrise and sunset were defined as the moment the geometric center of the sun passes the horizon, then the day and night would be exactly 12 hours long. But that is not the case. Sunrise and sunset are defined as the exact moment the upper edge of the sun's disk touches the eastern and the western horizon, and sometimes remnants of the night before, even the moon, can be seen. The day and night are only nearly equal on the September equinox and the March equinox. In fact, most locations on Earth tend to enjoy more daylight hours than nighttime hours on these 2 days of the year, thanks to the Earth's atmosphere and our definition of sunrise and sunset. On the South Pole, the sun will be up for 24 hours, so it's a perfect opportunity to see a midnight sun. Polar night is a phenomenon where night lasts for more than 24 hours that occurs in the northernmost and southernmost regions of Earth. This occurs only inside the polar circles. In reality, most locations on Earth do not enjoy exactly the same amount of daytime and nighttime. This footage perfectly captures that moment where the lines between day and night are blurred. Car appears out of nowhere. A viral video showing a bizarre traffic incident in which a ghost car looks to appear out of nowhere in the middle of a busy intersection in Russia has left many viewers stunned. The incident was filmed by a dashboard camera from a car entering the intersection. The way this left turn appears from the dashcam's perspective makes it look as though a car mysteriously appears out of nowhere in the middle of the intersection. But amazingly, none of the turning cars appear to make contact with the enigma, although a dark BMW comes very close. The driver of a vehicle that's filming lets out a scream, clearly shaken by what she's just seen. Who wouldn't? When the ghost car appeared, the video prompted many to try to explain where the mysterious car could have been and how it did not appear earlier in the video. Some suggested the car was hidden by another vehicle until its appearance at the last minute, while others suggested it was a visual trick or that the entire video was fake. Some viewers even suggested it was a ghost. There's no reassurance the video has been edited this way, but it's clearly spooked thousands of people. Edited versions slow the footage down in an attempt to pinpoint the exact moment the car suddenly appears. But this could be just an example of bad driving and good timing captured on dashcam. The Draymond Green pass that magically. After years of playing basketball together, Golden State Warriors teammates Draymond Green and Klay Thompson have seemingly developed an extrasensory connection on the court, as seen by this mysterious, almost supernatural bounce pass. Television viewers were left baffled in the first quarter of the Warriors' win over the visiting Hawks, after Green got the ball at the top of the key and dished to Thompson while using his body to screen an opponent. Miraculously, the ball seemingly disappeared from Green's hands before reappearing in Thompson's. There is, of course, an explanation. Green's back was turned to the cameras as he delivered the pocket pass, obstructing the view of the ball from the television audience. Thompson also had his back facing the camera when he received the ball, which remained obscured by the teammates' ample bodies. And since Thompson ran around Green to receive the pass, it was easy to miss the ball bouncing from Green's hands to Thompson's. The fact that Green's pass was somewhat of a behind-the-back dish also made it difficult to see, although it caught Thompson perfectly in stride. Green enjoyed a good night passing in this game, dishing out a team-high 11 assists in the win, while Thompson finished with a whopping 54 points. Man teleports. This short clip appearing to show a man with a camera magically appearing in front of a woman dressed as Marvel's Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, has gone viral on social media. Did you catch it? The clip gathered millions of views as viewers demanded to know the provenance of the mysterious stranger. Since then, the video has been reposted across multiple platforms and seen by millions of viewers, many of whom were perplexed by the mystery man that inadvertently ended up photobombing the actress. But is this really black magic or a multiverse of plain old teleportation? Or is there a more reasonable explanation? Clearly, the Scarlet Witch manifested him into reality, one viewer quipped. Unfortunately, no teleportation or black magic conjuring was at play on this occasion. It's simply a trick of perspective. The video appears to show the moment that the actress cosplaying Scarlet Witch enters what looks like a theme park. The apparition mystery was resolved by the original poster, which provides additional context to the clip. Moments before it begins, a man is seen walking into the shot holding a camera. He then starts filming Wanda while watching her pace as he walks ahead of her. Due to the camera's perspective, for a few moments the man disappears behind her. Ball appears out of nowhere. A video has gone viral after a strange ball seems to materialize literally out of thin air during a toddler's play session with a group of dogs. It all looks like a good innocent fun as a child waddles down a narrow passage in its jumper suit, seemingly in pursuit of a handful of dogs. The person shooting the video appears to be behind the child. Then, 4 seconds into the clip, things start to get weird as a red and blue ball suddenly appear in the picture. It's about the size of a volley or soccer ball, and it's initially spinning slightly before becoming still next to the wall. Due to its slow velocity, it's obvious that the ball has not been dropped, fallen, or rolled from it somewhere. With all the movement by the various dogs, one would think one of them would have stumbled on the ball had it always been there. The child's reaction seems one of genuine surprise as they quickly do a double take and turn back to take a closer look. On one hand, there are several obstacles that could be blocking the view of the ball, but the more you watch the video in slow motion, pausing bit by bit, the more difficult it becomes to explain. Here's one viewer's attempt in offering an explanation. According to them, the ball was moving in the same direction about 3 feet in front as the kid he runs, being blocked from view by his body. If you keep your eyes open and your camera rolling, you too could capture one of these glitchy life moments. What could be better? Like and subscribe since you feel the same, and stick around for more great videos.